LaMelo's bright personality and flair, while also mentioning how the young talent isn't afraid to call himself, quote, one of one, the golden child, or something you've never seen. Gonna let those sink in. Shannon, is LaMelo putting a target on his back like LeVar put one on Lonzo's back?
Nah, this is not the same, Skip. LaMelo's already backed it up. He's Rookie of the Year. He seemed to never succumb to the pressure. He believed, I saw some footage when he was like 14, and Lonzo says, well, I'm the best, he's the next best, and Melo like, I'm better than both of them.
Yeah. And you could tell he believed it.
And he actually believed that.
Yeah.
And that comes from his dad. His dad has always spoke, son, manifest it. Believe you're the best. Why should I say somebody's better than me? But what I did learn from this article, LaMelo Ball was talking in this article like, we talked to our homeboys. It was in this, everything was in.
Yes.
I'm like, LaMelo, you do realize you doing an interview for a magazine.
With GQ.
Yep. GQ, so
and it didn't seem to bother him a bit.
He's like, man, these ears out here. I say, man, y'all out y'all mind. But Skip, he's different. He believes it, and this is not about no unwanted. Charlotte needs all the attention they can get, first and foremost. So for me, I love it. I love we're not used to seeing players like, talk like he talks and then go out there and do it. He came in different. Everything about his story is different. Dude said, man, he like, man, who needs school? They ain't teaching nothing school anyway. Yep. So I'm glad I didn't go to school. So his path to the NBA is very unique, Skip. Guy don't want to go to high school. His dad, like, whatever's going on, didn't like the coach. He took him out. He go overseas. Come back to Spires, like, you know what, forget that. I'm going back overseas, plays like 10, 11 games, like, I'm done with this. I'm going into the draft. Yep. So his path to NBA and stardom is very unique. It's nothing we've ever seen before. For an American boy, foreign, like Luka was playing overseas, playing pro ball.
Yep.
When he was 15, 16. So that's not unique for a foreign player. But for an American-born player to take the path that he took is very unique. He's very confident. He's supremely confident in his ability and what he can do. And for whatever reason, it's rubbed off on the other, because the Charlotte's a very young team.
Yep.
But it rubbed off on them, and he got them playing. Yep. Like, hey, man, we can do all this. And like he said, it's like I came in there and they walk different. They carry themselves different. They talk differently. Skip, it's not going to bother him. He's been in the spotlight, maybe not on the NBA level, but he's been in the spotlight. His dad had a TV show, a reality show. Yeah. He's been doing this. Dude scored 92 points in a game, high school game. So, Skip, he's used to this. He's not in awe of anything. Yep. He's not in awe of anyone. His dad didn't allow him to be in awe of anyone. You the awe. Everybody's going to be in awe of you.
Yep.
And so for me, I would laugh. I'm reading and laughing at the same time.
So was I.
But this kid, I think he's on his way to superstardom.
Yep. I cannot disagree with every point you just made, because as I read these quotes, usually they hit me the wrong way. Right. Usually they rub me the wrong way. Usually they rub me raw. Right. And with this kid, and I've been around him just a little bit when he got brought in here by his dad when he was like
probably like 16, 16, 17, yeah.
And he was awfully quiet. He sat right over there by you. And now I wish we had just said, hey, you go. LeVar, take a back seat. LeVar, take a break.
He's more like his dad than any of the boys. Lonzo is like his mom.
Point number 2. It is shocking to me how different the big brother is from the little brother.
He is.
I know your brother pretty well because I worked with him at ESPN for several years. And you guys are somewhat similar in nature and personality and aura. When you walk in the room, you're kind of the same to me. You have some different quirks than Sterling has, but still cut from somewhat the same cloth to me in personality, in command, in voice. It's kind of the same to me. This is polar opposite personalities, to the point where I wish I could pour a little bit of LaMelo into Lonzo, just a little bit, because Lonzo, as a rookie, came off as a little overwhelmed and underconfident, right? How many nights did I watch Laker games when Magic had proclaimed Lonzo next? Said, you're going to see his jersey hanging up in the rafters, his number 2. And I said, Lonzo, get involved. You know, he just go stand over on the side and watch the offense go, right? And the target that did get painted on Lonzo's back was as unfair as I've ever seen, because Lonzo came in almost LeBron-like with the hype and the expectation.
Right.
And Magic, and then LeVar saying he's better than Steph Curry already. And Lonzo had a hard time living up to that.
Right.
This kid lives in his own world. It's like no one else is in the world except him.
Right.
So it's like it's a form of blissful ignorance, not in a bad way, but like he's just wide-eyed.
Right.
Like I know I can do this, and he did it.
Yeah.
And he was backing it up right away. He's the youngest man in the history of the NBA to have a triple-double at age 19. He went 22, 12, and 11 against Atlanta on January 9th. And night after night, he became must-see for me because he would do, Jordan-esque, he would do something every night where I'd say, whoa, wow.
I think another thing that helped him, Skip, he went clear across the country.
Yep.
Yeah, out there in Charlotte by himself.
Yeah.
Charlotte is so far away from L.A. Lonzo went an hour, basically an hour from home.
That's rough. And Dad's looking over your shoulder. And this kid, he went to Lithuania. Wasn't it Lithuania?
Yeah, he went to Lithuania.
Lithuania and Australia.
He was Australia, yeah.
And then he's like, I got this. I was born for this.
He had Jello with him, and his dad would have. But when he went to Australia, he by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll make you grow up fast, right?
Yes.
So none of this seems to overwhelm him. And I want to congratulate Tyler R. Times, who did the who did the interview for GQ, because it is spectacular.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you just push the button and he went.
He's just talking. He talking like a recorder isn't on, and he at home with his homeboys, and he just talking.
Yep. I didn't love it at the end. He was 2 hours late for his last interview. That won't fly. You got to be on time.
Right.
But that's LaMelo. That's the world he lives in. Yep.
But his coach spoke glowingly about him and what he brings to the table. But I'm happy. Hopefully, Skip, he can get the. That's the next step. Can he get the Hornets to the playoffs? That's the next step.
For his owner's sake, I hope so. His owner needs one of those.
Yeah. Guys, how about LeBron, though? He isn't afraid to show us just how hard he's been working this offseason.
Oh,
we'll show you what he's been up to next.
What have you been up to?